Donald Trump's victory has well and truly been signed, sealed and delivered. But some lefties, like the team at SNL, are struggling to accept it. Sky News All-Stars Danica, Giorgio, Bond and Rita Panahi take a look at the almighty tantrums thrown since Trump's election victory. Donald Trump was elected President of the United States in a landslide victory last week, which have many people throwing tantrums, says Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi.
Okay, lots to talk about, Rita. It was a big week. What happened this week? Anything out of the ordinary?
It's a quiet week for me. Landslide's the key word there. This is a clean sweep. I don't think even you, in your most optimistic moments, did you
landslide, yes.
Did you think he was going to win every single swing state? Every single swing state. Gave him 6. Everything. The House is the only thing that we're still waiting confirmation on. He's edging closer and closer. He's got the Senate, he's got the popular vote, and of course, he's got the all-important electoral college vote. So this is an enormous mandate. It is undeniable that the American people have spoken, and they've spoken clearly. And the swamp better listen, because it's going to be very different to Trump's first term. That first term, I think he was a little bit naive about just how vicious.
Key point, how different this Trump agenda is going to be.
But news of the new president has sent many sectors of the country into a tailspin, with Sky News All-Star Danica Giorgio saying many lefties just aren't coping.
Look, we've just been discussing the lefties, of course, in the US because they just seem to really be struggling to cope with the term.
So bad.
That's actually probably a light term. They're they're not coping, let's be honest, with Trump's victory. And so much so that Ivy League schools across the United States have cancelled classes, postponed exams, and told students they could colour in with crayons and even offered them milk and cookies to cope. Yes, you heard that correct. Nothing like a warm glass of milk to soothe your soul. Joining us now is journalist and commentator in the US, Brad Palumbo. Brad, really great to see you. The Ivy League, really good to see they're putting this billions of money that they get every year to good use to help students with this difficult time.
It's absolutely pathetic. These are supposed to be America's elite education universities and our higher education system, and they're treating their students like toddlers, canceling classes. I would be furious. I remember I was a college student back in 2016, and my professors decided to have sessions to talk about our feelings instead of teaching class. And guys, college in the US is insanely expensive. I was like, excuse me, sir, I'm paying like $300 for this hour. Maybe you could actually teach about the topic you're paid to teach. I think if you're a professor and you're unable to do your job because you're just so adversely affected mentally by an election not going your way, you need to get a grip and maybe go back to teaching kindergarten rather than full-grown adults. It's condescending and it's pathetic, but it's so just emblematic of the cultural rot that's turning American elite institutions into an absolute joke.
And it's not just students having a meltdown. The media is also struggling to come to terms with America's new reality, says Sky News All-Star Bond.
The liberal media in the US, they have had such a hard time accepting Trump's victory. It really is a thing of beauty. I'll finish you with a few examples. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel, well, he teared up on it.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go. For healthcare, for our climate.
Oh, it was such a terrible night for America, even though the majority of voters voted for him. How stupid are you people? Here's a few more.
It's not the elite that's going to pay the price. It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. And this will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
I'm obviously very disappointed. I'm very sad. It's been very difficult, but boy, oh boy, do we have a country if we can keep it. People didn't come out, I don't know why, and it doesn't even matter.
He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name.
Oh, Kel, isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. Actually, Stephen Colbert himself on his program said, well, what those people went out and voted was to say they don't believe in democracy. Now, truly, he said that. Now, what's happening here is you get people who believe their own lies. It's the bubble phenomenon. It's like the boy in the bubble in Seinfeld. These people live in a bubble. They only talk to other people who agree with them and who like their points of view. And the result is they actually believe that stuff. I saw Oprah standing up the night before everyone went out to vote and said, get out to vote. It will be your, if this man's elected, you'll never vote again. Now, she's not a stupid woman. She's a clever businessman. So she knows it's not true.
Saturday Night Live also poked fun at Trump's win.
The same Donald Trump who openly called for vengeance against his political enemies.
Now, thanks to the Supreme Court, there are no guardrails.
Nothing to protect the people who are brave enough to speak out against him.
And that is why we at SNL would like to say to Donald Trump, we have been with you all along.
This commentator sarcastically quipped, SNL seems to be coping well with Trump's victory. In addition to the media having a meltdown, it seems celebrities who are huge supporters of Kamala Harris are also turning on each other after Trump's victory.
Yeah, and some of Hollywood's biggest stars have threatened to leave the US following Trump's election victory. Singer Cher, for example, claimed that she dealt with health issues that were directly sparked by Trump's presidency term in the first instance, would you believe? And she said that she would leave the country for good. Bo, have any of these elites actually stopped to ask themselves not how Donald Trump won the election, but why? Because that is key here.
Well, there needs to be an introspection. There needs to be a whole recalibration of thought. But I'm fearful that that won't happen because of arrogance. These elites think that they can tell people how to think, how to vote, what emotions to have. They prey on voters' emotions. But the difference is the American voter won in this. They couldn't control their minds. And I think that's so critical to understand that they've got to have a reckoning. The media has to have a reckoning. The elites have to have a reckoning that they cannot control the American voter's mind. And you know what, Danica, to those who said they want to leave the country, I want a list of those people. I want to make sure we're keeping tabs of where they are, because you know what? I would sing to them exactly like NSYNC sang. Bye, bye, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Make good on your promise and get the hell out.
Absolutely. Bye, bye, bye. Good riddance. I like that one.